All right, you ready? Quick little road trip.
Let's go.
Ikea, Charlotte, here we come. Ikea has just released a bunch of smart home products that all support matter over thread. They're all really affordable, buttons, sensors, even lights, I believe, coming out. What's interesting about these is that A, they're so affordable, and B, they're just more mainstream. So we're seeing these big brands like Ikea, even Philips Hue now going in on thread and matter over thread, making these smart home accessories just more accessible, I think, to everyone. So it could be kind of a shift, is what it seems like to me, in matter over thread becoming just more mainstream. So we're gonna go into Ikea and find some of these smart home accessories that are now so affordable and easily available to anybody, and we're gonna put them to the test and see if they're any good. Wait up, look at that, snow in the Carolinas.
Needs to get deleted.
Get one of those too.
That's in lighting, Market Hall.
That's all probably in the same spot.
Yeah. All right,
Let's go.
where's Market Hall?
All right, so we found the smart home sensors. Here we go. We've got temperature, humidity sensors. We got the air quality sensors. All right, so this is what you're looking for here is a little Matter logo when you're in Ikea anyways. It can be a little confusing, I think, if you don't know what you're looking for, because these are in fact matter over thread, but they don't say thread anywhere that I can tell on the packaging. And Ikea also sells a bunch of sensors and stuff that support Zigbee. So they do have the Zigbee logo on these. So just kind of know what you're looking for, but we're trying out the new products here. And they do all have the Matter logo. So with these, you don't need any additional hubs other than your thread border router, which, you know, could be a HomePod or an Apple TV, something like that. We've got the door sensor right here. So Matter over thread. These names are killing me though here. We should have a game. How do you pronounce that?
Migbit.
It's almost like megabyte.
No.
What about that one?
Alps Tugga.
Alpstuga.
Belrisa.
Hey, that ain't bad. Okay, here we go.
They're all different?
I can't pronounce it.
Timorflote. Why do I have a
don't-
Spanish accent? I don't think it's Spanish.
No, this is Swedish. We got temperature sensor, we got contact sensor, we've got the air quality sensor, and we've got
missed that.
the button. Oh, what do we got over here? See?
Water leak sensor.
Oh, they got a matter over thread water leak sensor. I'm not even sure I knew about this one. All right,
$9.99.
pronounce that one.
Clipbock.
Clipbock. Okay, yeah, I can't pronounce any of these. Oh, yep, I forgot this one. All right, and here we got a motion sensor. Again, matter over thread.
Let me see it.
So
Say that one.
MIG spray. Motion sensor, temperature sensor, door sensor, the smart button. They actually make these in a bunch of different colors too. Unfortunately, they only have the white ones here, but I might get a couple of these, the air quality sensor and the water leak sensor. So do you think we should get a couple? I've got so many water leak sensors though. I might get a couple of these.
Yeah, what is that? So I'm seeing a theme. It seems like all the Matter stuff or smart home has got a yellow top.
Yeah, all the new Matter over thread products do have the yellow packaging.
But what is this product right here?
Like this is just a battery bank. But like these over here, so this is a contact sensor also like this one. But like I was saying, this one is Zigbee. So if you're using any of their Zigbee products, you'll have to connect it to the Diragira hub. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
It sounded like you said diarrhea.
I know. When I read it and I see that word, I always think diarrhea, but that's not it. Diragira.
Diarrhea.
That's their Zigbee hub. And you can connect that to HomeKit and all the Zigbee sensors. But with the Matter over thread stuff, you don't need any hub other than your thread border router. So we're gonna get a bunch of these, take them home, test them out, and see how well they do.
This is really cool. Check this out, babe. I think we need this.
You're getting distracted. They're supposed to have some Matter over thread smart lighting products, but I think they're coming out very soon. Unfortunately, don't think they're out just yet. She says Ikea is not for her, but gets distracted every corner we turn.
Not true. Lies. Fake news.
What are you doing right now then?
I just, that's what you get.
Damn it. All right, got what we came for now.
Get me out of here. Please. I may be the only female that hates Ikea.
I just had to reel you in. You were out there wandering looking at baby stuff 5 minutes ago. $7.99 for a water sensor. $9.99 temperature sensor. This is the most expensive one, I
like
think.
you're on The Price is Right.
Yeah, that's $29.99 for that one. That's the most expensive one. Contact sensor, $7.99. Butter sugar cookie.
My God, this is your store. That's hilarious. I don't think you've ever been offered a cookie at checkout.
Let's go.
You're gonna make me film out here?
It's a little chilly, ain't it? Well, I got what I came for, but since we're in Charlotte, can we go to the Apple store? Come on, we'll go get some lunch, and then we'll hit the Apple store.
You know, I totally forgot about the Apple store.
We don't have an Apple store near where I live either, so I figure while we're here, you know, after lunch.
Yeah, after lunch, I'm hungry.
All right, let's do it.
You're hungry too, admit it.
I'm cold right now.
Oh my God, it's so bad. Is there breath? Yeah, there's breath.
Found it. Good job. There it is.
You're about to give up. That's it. Nothing else.
Starting to think it was a bad idea bringing you into the mall.
You bribed me.
I was actually going to pick up one of the new Ikea U400 smart locks, the deluxe version, only sold in Apple stores. They had it, but they only had it in black. I wanted to get it in silver, and they didn't have it in store, so I wasn't able to get the lock. And now I'm stuck in the mall, and Caroline is just having a field day, and I don't have a new smart lock. We're back. Let's see how easy we can get these things all set up. Now, these are matter over thread, so like we said earlier, you can connect them really to any smart home ecosystem as long as you have a thread border router in your house. I'm gonna start with Apple Home. That's usually where I start, or the manufacturer's at, but I'm gonna start with Apple Home on these. What should we start with first? Let's go with the button. Buttons are always fun. Let's start with one of these. Let's see what that is. Somewhat confusing instructions there. We'll figure it out. Oh, there's our Matter code right there, QR code. You're gonna need that for pairing. Let's see if it's on the device. Usually they're on the device also. Yep, right there, so you can use that. Comes with a little magnetic mount that you can stick to a wall, something like that. Plastic, not super premium, but you know, nice little smart button if it works. Let's see, this says for the battery, push in there. Let's see if we can check out the battery on this thing. Oh, it doesn't come with its own batteries. That's fun. So I'm gonna have to go find a bunch of batteries. It looks like probably for all these sensors. All right, stand by. Okay, back with some batteries. We're gonna start here with some AAA. So a lot of time with these sensors, you'll see little coin cell batteries and stuff like that. I actually don't really mind AA or AAA batteries. Sometimes that means the sensor or the device might be a little bigger, but probably also means the battery will last a long time. Let's get these in here. Yellow light came on. Looks like there may be a little reset button right here, so I'll leave that off for now. Let's see if we can get it paired up. I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's like the Ikea app. I bet you that's the Ikea app. So maybe you could use the Ikea app. I'm not gonna bother with that. We're just gonna go straight into Apple Home with this. Scan that code. Come on, is it gonna work on the first try? When you're setting up a new device, whether it's Thread or Wi-Fi or whatever, new Matter device, you do want to make sure your phone is connected to the same network that your smart home hub is on. So if it's your Apple TV or your HomePod, whatever, you want to make sure your phone is connected to the same network just to make sure everything goes smoothly. And again, these are Matter over Thread, so you will need a Thread border router on your network. I've said it a bunch of times, but just to clarify, you will need a Thread border router. I've got an Apple TV and multiple HomePods and Apple TVs. I'm actually using an Apple TV that's hardwired over Ethernet as my primary Apple Home hub, which is always probably preferred if you can get your primary Apple Home hub hardwired, which again is also my Thread border router. All right, it says it's setting up, so that's good if it actually follows through. Sometimes this can take a little while. Come on. I always get a little nervous when it takes this long. Light's still flashing. I wouldn't be surprised if it errors out. At this point, taking this long is usually not the best sign. We'll see. Oh, no. There we go. All right, let's see. Still flashing like it's in pairing mode. I'm not seeing it pop up on my list. Let's hold down that little, what appears to be the reset button. See if we see it pop up here. So I saw the LED flash red there. Okay, there we go. Belrisa dual button. And I'm gonna just type in the code this time. See if that works. Dang, man. We haven't even got into the setting up phase. Not the best start. Honestly, this is really why I don't mind Zigbee sensors at all, and just connecting those to a Zigbee hub. I know a lot of people don't like hubs, but usually the pairing process is pretty spot on and they're really reliable, and you don't have to deal with as much of this stuff here, which seems to be the case kind of with Thread. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes when it comes to Thread, depending on the product, the manufacturer, and a lot of other factors. It should not be taking this long. Yeah, I'm gonna close that. It shouldn't be taking that long. It's still showing up. Let me try one more time. All right, there's our button. Let's use the camera once more. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna let it go all the way this time. Yeah, it shouldn't be taking this long. Unable to add accessory again. Oh, all right. Maybe I'll set that one aside. Let's try another one, see if we have better luck. I want to try this temperature sensor. Don't mismatch or lose your Matter codes. So you're gonna have to put some batteries in this one, and also, oh, more AAA batteries. There's a little switch on this one for Celsius or Fahrenheit. That's pretty cool. Physical toggle for that. We got a little flashing light. Let's see if it shows up in a pairing mode. If you tap more options, you'll usually see, oh, there it is, the temperature sensor. I'm gonna use my camera, scan that Matter code. Let's see if we have better luck with the temperature sensor. Oh, and that one aired out also. All right, let me go check our home hubs and bridges. And the living room Apple TV is the primary hub. That's what I want. All right, so kind of just a guessing game here. I'm gonna pull up another phone. I think this is a 16 Pro Max. I was using my 17 Pro Max initially, and now let's just see if maybe we can do it with this phone. Sometimes some weird things happen. Okay, the sensor's showing up here, so let's tap on that. I'm gonna use my camera, scan it, scan that matter code. Let's see if we get lucky and maybe it works with a different phone. Oh, adding to home. Is it gonna work? And we got another error. Okay, what I'm gonna try now is I'm gonna switch my HomeKit, my Apple Home Hub. I have experienced in the past, this is just anecdotal, but I have experienced in the past trouble adding and using thread accessories when my hardwired Apple TV is the primary hub. Should not make a difference. In fact, that should be better, but just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna switch it to a HomePod as my primary hub, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Kitchen HomePod. Let's see if that makes any difference. It's gonna take a minute for everything to switch over. I'm getting some no response things, so that probably means the HomePod or the Apple Home Hub is in the process of switching. All right, so it says the kitchen HomePod is now the primary hub. Sometimes those thread accessories like the camera light, that's a thread accessory. Sometimes they'll take a little while to reconnect when you switch the hub. All right, let's go back and try the button again. Now that we changed our Apple Home Hub, I'm gonna just reset this thing and then use my camera, scan the code, see if we have any luck this time. Still no luck. Okay. All right, so clearly something's not working right here. Our other thread accessories are working. So what could it be? I'm gonna try one more time. All right, so I just did a reset on the thermostat. I'm just gonna go straight into add accessory and scan my code, add to home. We have success. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna add this to the test room. Gosh, that name. I'll call this Ikea temperature sensor. You could change the name, temperature and humidity. You could change the name to each individual accessory, just so I know what's what. I'm gonna put them in my test room for now. Not sure where I'll end up putting them. Hey, and we have success. Let's view it in the home. There we go, our temperature and humidity sensor. It says 40% humidity in here, 77 degrees. That seems a bit hot. Maybe it's that warm in here, I'm not sure. Don't think it's that hot in here. So we'll see, maybe that will level out. But if we look at our individual accessories, there you go. All right, so now I want to try the button again. I wonder how to get the display on there. Do you have to put this back on? There we go. Oh, it's a button. So you actually push it to show. All right. It would be cool if it showed it all the time. I thought it would. Let's show you the temperature and then the humidity. All right, let's try this button one more time. Doing a reset, a hard reset of the button. Add accessory. Scan the code. Add to home. Let's see if we get success on this one. Oh, it's getting further than it did last time, I think. Hey, all right. We're rocking and rolling now, looks like. Put this in my test room also. I'm gonna call this the Ikea button 1 because I actually have 2 of them. All right, let's view it in the home. Oh, that ain't right. Let's see. There we go. I can put the lid back on. And you can see here we got button 1 and button 2. We got a single press, double press, and long press for each one. This looks like button 1, single press, double press, long press. Oh, triggered a few different actions there. Long press, double press. Oh, little slow. Single press. Try it again. All right, button 2. Try that again. Uh-oh. Button 2 doesn't seem to be wanting to respond. Well, that's disappointing. All right, not responding anymore. Well, at least it's added. I'll come back and check on it again. See if we can get another one added. All right. See if this goes a little smoother. We got a door sensor here. Let's check out the door sensor. All right, so here is the door sensor. It's nice and thin, but it's pretty long. Pretty long, but it's nice and thin. I assume there's probably just one, maybe there's 2 AA batteries in here. Let's see what we got. Okay, yep, single AAA, sorry, single AAA battery. Let's get that in there. Got our flashing light. I'll wait before I put on the cover. All right, moment of truth. Just gonna scan it. All right, sensor, add to home. See how it does. Hey, all right, that worked. We'll rename this one also. While that's finishing, I'll go ahead and put the top on. This one has the Matter code written out on the side there. So you can choose what you want this to kind of represent. Window, garage door, door, contact sensor, or blinds. I'll just leave it at contact sensor for now. Let's view it in the home. It says it's open, battery level 100%. How responsive it is. Can you see that? Something worth noting for sensors in the Apple Home app, they're not going to show up as tiles down here like you know, a normal accessory. Your sensors are all going to show up here. All right, so like the contact sensor we just paired should be that one right there. So that's where your sensors will show up. Oh, look, updates are available in the Apple Home app. So the sensor, Ikea, is this the contact sensor or the temperature sensor? That's the temperature sensor. It looks like there's an update for the temperature sensor that I added already. So that's nice. You can do that without a manufacturer's app. So that is a nice thing. So I went ahead and started that, and we'll check back on that in a minute. All right, now let's check out the air quality sensor. I actually thought this was one that you had to plug in. Am I wrong about that? I guess so. Oh no, requires USB-C, and they don't give you a USB cable or plug. All right, so I guess you have to provide your own. All right, looks like that little flashing light probably means it's in pairing mode. Not seeing it show up. Usually you'll see it show up here. All right, so what I'm gonna do to make sure is I'm just gonna hold down on this. Usually that will reset the device. Okay, now we're seeing it show up there. So I'm just gonna add accessory, and we're gonna scan that Matter QR code. It's on the bottom there. Add to home. This one actually has a bunch of buttons on the bottom here. I'm not sure what all these do, but we'll find out. This looks like this one's not gonna pair up. Oh. And that one failed also. Hey, all right, it worked that time. All right, Ikea air quality monitor. Got that into my test room. So we're seeing the air quality reading as good, and the PM 2.5 density, you can see that. Also carbon dioxide levels are in Apple Home, which is nice, and the humidity level. So that's nice, a lot of information there. Now I wonder if I can figure out what these buttons do on this one. The top button is the display button. Okay, so that's the reset button. This one will switch between 12 and 24-hour formats. Long press to switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. All right, there we go, 514. That is actually correct. Long press to switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. There we go. This button will is to set the clock, and the plus button change the hours and the minutes of the clock. So press this to change and adjust the clock time. Press on the top will change the display. We got the CO2 levels in here, PM 2.5 levels, temperature, humidity, and our clock. All right. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now that we got it working in Apple Home, at least. What have we not done yet? There's two that we have not set up yet. We've got a motion sensor here, the MIG spray. Kind of a big motion sensor. It comes with a couple of 3M sticky pads that you can use. So I guess you could put those out here, or you could screw it in either, looks like directly into a wall, or you can corner mount it. So that's kind of nice, actually, a single mount for either flat against the wall or into a corner. I don't mind that. All right, more batteries. AAA batteries on all these. All right, we got our flashing light, and these should be in pairing mode for 15 minutes once you put batteries in. You can go either 10 meters with a 60-degree angle or 5 meters with a 120-degree, range of width. It's suggesting to mount it 2 meters high, which is 6.5 feet right here. It'll see longer at a more narrow range and closer at a wider range. Hey, all right, we got success. I'll put it in the test room for now. Cool, so this has a light sensor and an occupancy sensor in it, but it's really pretty sure this is just a motion sensor. Of course, there's no information on here. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's just a PIR motion sensor and not a millimeter wave occupancy or presence sensor. One more sensor to pair, and then we will have successfully paired every one that we were able to get. This here is the, oh, nope, that's not the one I wanted to do. I do have another button. I got a couple of the buttons, but I want to pair the water sensor. We're gonna try these out. Water sensors are incredible. So, I mean, if these work well and the battery lasts a while, I'd say that's a good find. Everybody should get water sensors. These won't need a hub. You connect them directly to your smart home ecosystem. All right, let's get a couple batteries in here. All right, there we go, flashing red. That should mean it's resetting. Add to home. And it looks like this actually has a little speaker on it, so that's pretty sweet. If that's the case, then this will make a noise, it looks like, when water is detected. So you'll get an audible sound as well as notifications on your phone, plus any automations that you might set up. So I'll test that and make sure that's actually what that is, and we get a little speaker, maybe an audible sound on this when water is detected. Oh, there's the little prongs. Okay, so I was curious. I didn't see them at first while that's setting up and hopefully pairs. I'll show you on these little water sensors. That's going to be what actually detects water, is those little metal prongs right there. So you'll see those on just about most water sensors, and that's going to be what will actually detect the water. This particular water sensor is going to actually have to detect a fairly large leak, it looks like, because some of these water sensors I've seen, the metal prongs basically sit right on the ground, but I don't know if you can see that. But these actually have these little rubber feet on them. So they're gonna actually sit the sensor up off the ground a little bit, and water's gonna have to get all the way up to that metal prong, to one of those metal prongs, in order to detect water. So that's gonna be a pretty decent amount of water build up before it's gonna hit those metal prongs. So that's just something to take note of there. Yeah, I don't like it when it takes this long. That usually means it's gonna fail. All right, I'm exiting. I'm trying it again. I don't know why sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That seems to be fairly consistent with thread accessories in my experience. Sometimes it takes a few tries. All right, I'm having trouble getting that water sensor connected. I'm gonna keep trying that. In the meantime, I wanna show you real quick how to pair any one of these devices to another ecosystem, another smart home ecosystem once you've connected it. That's one of the great things about Matter, is that you can use these Matter devices in multiple smart home ecosystems. All right, so I'm gonna try with the button here, putting the button into another ecosystem. Copy code. Let's go to Homey, new device, tap on Matter. I'll connect via Homey, continue, and here you'll paste in that new code. Connect. Oh, there we go, nice and quick. All right, and even shows up a nice little image here, install and connect. So there's actually an Ikea app so for Homey Pro, so I'll just hit install and connect. All right, and we have success. I'll rename this here, Ikea button 1, finish, and some of the things you can do with it. All right, so that works. We got the button in here, and again, it's also in the Apple Home app. All right, so I'm gonna spare you the excitement of setting up the rest of these, and I'm gonna try to get them all connected and start using them. I'm gonna place them throughout my home and use them for a little while, and I'll come back and just share my final experience and thoughts with all these affordable Ikea Matter accessories. All right, so it's been a few days since I set up all of the new Ikea devices. Obviously, this isn't a long-term review, but I did just want to share my experience with all these so far. As you saw, I did have some trouble initially pairing the devices. I did eventually get all of them connected to Apple Home. I also shared some of them over to Homey Pro and Home Assistant a little bit. Now, in a nutshell, my experience has been a little hit or miss. All of them have been working pretty well in Apple Home, except for the door sensor. For some reason, this one did go unresponsive for me at one point. I removed the battery and then put it back in, and then it just reconnected fine. The button has worked pretty well. I've been testing it a lot over the past few days to control some different lights and stuff. I set up an automation both in Apple Home actually and in Homey, and they've been working pretty well. The motion sensor has been mostly good. I set up an automation using it to control the light strip on my stairs, and it's been pretty solid. Not quite 100% reliability, as I noticed it did go unresponsive a couple of times in Homey, and then it would just reconnect kind of on its own. The water sensor is really awesome. It's been very responsive at detecting leaks so far in just my short time testing it. I love that it has this little speaker built into it to give you an audible alert. And of course, you'll also get those critical alerts on your phone as soon as it detects water. And I also really like this one here. I love having a carbon dioxide sensor built in, as well as the air quality, temperature, humidity, all that, plus the little clock built into it is really cool. I'm digging this one. The temperature sensor here is also nice. I was kind of hoping it would always display the temperature. I think that'd be cool for a little display in your house. But you do have to press on the little button for it to show the temperature. I'm not sure if there's a way to get that to permanently show. If there is, I haven't figured it out yet. Now, overall, after getting through the initial, pairing of the devices, my experience has been mostly good, especially in Apple Home. Again, I did have that issue with the door sensor going unresponsive once, and I did have some connectivity issues with some of the devices over in Homey over the past few days. Honestly, time is really going to tell if all of these are something that I can recommend to everyone. If you're a smart home nerd, you understand your Thread and home network environment, and you don't mind some potential troubleshooting just to get everything to work. And obviously, you cannot beat the prices for these. Matter over Thread is great when it works. But what about when it doesn't? Just since my trip to Ikea, I've seen countless articles and posts from people claiming to have all kinds of issues with these new Ikea devices. Ikea even acknowledges these issues and has published some troubleshooting tips. I think the problem is that there are still so many factors that determine how your experience will go. Matter, and especially Thread, can be very sensitive to your existing network environment. Matter requires MDNS and IPv6, not to mention other potential concerns like Wi-Fi or Zigbee interference in your home, plus other variables like different smart home ecosystems behaving differently and supporting different features, multiple Thread border routers or Thread networks in your home, and the list just goes on. All this stuff is great to know, but not something you really should have to understand or deal with when you just want to get some simple smart home devices for your home. All that said, I think Ikea has done a really good thing here and made some very good products at very affordable prices. There is still work though that needs to be done, I think, around Matter and Thread just to make devices like this reliable and foolproof for everyone. And that's what worries me a little bit regarding Matter over Thread devices like this being sold in these big retail stores like Ikea right now anyways. I think there are going to be a lot of people that purchase them not understanding exactly how Thread and Matter works, and will probably have some issues when they get home. I mean, you even saw all the issues that I had just during the initial setup of mine. I can imagine many folks won't even get past that. They'll just say to hell with it and return them. Once I got all mine set up, they have been mostly good, but the few connectivity issues that I've had just over the past few days do make me a little bit worried about the long-term reliability. More time will tell, and I'll definitely keep you posted. One thing is certain, at least for right now, you do need to make sure that you have a proper network environment suitable for a reliable Thread network if you want to use something like this. I'll include a few links to resources in the video description down below that should help you in that process if you're interested and need some more information. Let me know what you think though. Have you picked up any of these new Ikea devices yet? And if so, how's it going for you? Again, this was sort of just like a hands-on first impressions. I'm gonna keep using them and I'll be glad to share updates over time. So be sure to subscribe for new smart home content. I also do live streams every week right here. So you can stop by a live stream anytime and feel free to ask me about my updated experience with any of these or anything else that you want to know about. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.